DJ Thorough, the hustlers, home, nigga.
For part two, more it is what it is on same-sex attraction. Back again with my boy Brendan here. We're gonna hop right into it once again. Next question is, Brendan, how do you feel about gay marriage?
Gay marriage, if two males want to get married, why not? I mean, weirder things have happened. It's not like it's going to be the first couple. It's not going to be that. Going to be the last couple. Do I support gay marriage? I'm not against it. I'll say that, but I'm just like, two people, if they want to get married, no, it's not documented in, the good book that two men should be married. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's you standing in front of Jesus. That's your judgment. That's going to be passed. Nobody can judge that. If you into gay marriage, if you love that somebody that much, where you want it secure, like, if it just don't work out 10 years from here, I'm going to benefit from it, you're going to benefit from it type of thing, then go for it. But as far as against it or for gay marriage, go for it. Whatever makes you feel good, do what you do. I don't see myself getting married. No, I don't see myself getting married to another dude. No, I don't do that.
Why not?
For me, it's just really kind of like for what? Like, why? Why would we do that? I know morally that's not the right thing to do. And that everything else with the lifestyle is just, it's understandable. I can see where you're coming from. But as far as going down there and standing in front of a preacher or whoever it is that actually, consummate a marriage, then I just don't.
Okay, so in your eyes, it's not traditional.
Right.
But you are a person who loves the same sex.
Right.
So why aren't you full-fledged into it? If you don't want to get married, that's like, okay, I'm going to be, I guess, gay 95%. The other 5% of getting married, that's taboo. So that's telling me, like, you're not fully into it. That's what I'm telling you, but that's like my opinion about it. So why don't you feel like you should get married?
Me, just morally, like I said, I just don't think it's the thing to do. Like, I don't necessarily agree with it for myself. Like, I wouldn't mind if a friend or somebody decided to get married to their longtime mate. I'll support it. I'll come to the wedding, but I don't see myself walking down the aisle with another male. No, I don't see that going on.
You don't knock it, but
I don't knock it. I just not. That's just not my thing. I'm not into that.
Okay. All right. Do you feel like that you want to have kids one day? And if yes, how do you feel about the example that you'll be setting for them?
Yes, I would like to have kids of my own one day. I call them my kids, but they're niece and nephew. I have one niece and 5 nephews, so I call them my kids. They're like my kids. They know me as the male figure in their life. So if I was to have, when I decide to have kids, and the impact that I want to have on them would be a positive impact. Just express yourself. If that's what you really want to do with yourself, whether you want to be gay, whether you want to be straight, whether you want to be orange, blue, black, or white, do whatever makes you feel good. It's not up to me I can teach you the right things by what I know is right, what you should do, and to teach you the right thing. But at the end of the day, again, you have to make your own decisions. Just growing up as an adult, that's the same thing that I had to learn. I had to make my own decisions as an adult. My mom wanted me to live a certain way, but that wasn't really the lifestyle that I agreed with. So,
Okay. Well, earlier in part one, I asked you about your dad, and you said that you had some kind of resentment towards him growing up because you felt like that you wouldn't be attracted to the same sex had he been around.
Right.
So, if you have kids, you were attracted to the same sex. So, is that like the best example that you be setting for them? Because they're going to look up to you and say, okay, if my dad's doing this, maybe this is okay. And in retrospect, you already said that you wish that your dad would have been around, so maybe things would have been different. So how do you answer this?
Well, to me, again, and that goes back to, especially as kids, it's only so at a certain age you can make them understand, okay, you have your own life to live. This is the life that, mommy or daddy chose for them, but I don't necessarily want that for you. If you want to do, if this is something that's true to you, that's truly who you are, it's all about being yourself. That's what we believe that's what we're here. We're put on this earth to do. You be yourself, you be true to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. If you are gay, you're gay. If you're straight, you're straight. There's no in between, no off the fence, on the fence. It's just express yourself. That's how you want to do. You want to do art, or you want to, travel, or do whatever it is, express yourself, be true to yourself, do right by you, and everything else follows with that. So that's the example that I would set for my children. I wouldn't necessarily just do like my dad did and just.
So if a kid wants to pick up a football or pick up a jump rope, that's quite okay with you?
That's perfectly fine with me, as long as you do what makes you feel good. Does that make you feel good to pick up a football, or are you just doing it just because daddy is wanting you to pick up a football and wanting you to actually do that? Or are you doing it just because that's what, look, this is what I want to do. I want to be the next, Michael Vick or whoever is famous in the football field. That's
right. Right. Okay, this question right here is real important to me because I want to know. I'm asking the questions that I want to know, and I know that everybody else wants to know. How does your sexuality interfere with your religious beliefs?
My religious beliefs, that's a good one. It's a lengthy one.
Okay.
For me, my religious beliefs don't change. I was raised up in a Baptist church where we know there's an Adam and an Eve. There's no, male on male action in the Bible. We've never heard of that. Nobody's ever heard of that, regardless of how people fight for it to be right. It's just simply not in the Bible. It's really not in the Bible, whatever book it is that you read. For me, I don't think it changed anything in my religion. I was raised to know that God loves everybody. God created us all. God is actually waking me up every morning. It's not, the president or whoever it is that's against gay marriages or whatever, who's ever against gay people in lifestyle period. It's not you that's waking me up. I'm answering to a higher power. So I know that there's a God. I know that there's God. At the end of the day, when I think about, this is what my lifestyle is, at the end of the day, I still know God loves me. If there's, if anybody can love anybody, then it's definitely going to come from God. It doesn't really change my belief as far as, I know the difference between the heaven and the hell, and I know which direction I'm trying to go. So, if it's, I feel as if, and I don't know if this is necessarily the best way to put it, but I feel as if as long as you done right and you've done right by yourself, then at the end of the day, whether you're punished good or bad, that's God's decision. This is what He put out for me. This is what, I'm not living my life as I want to live it. I'm living it as God wanted me to live it. Not necessarily saying God has put me here to be attracted to other males, but people ask me, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and people ask me all the time, do you ever remember a time when you liked females? Honestly, no. This is what I know. This is not a front. I didn't get to high school and all of a sudden decided I'm gonna experiment with guys. No, it was growing very early on. It was just like a weird feeling, but it never changed as I grew up. As I grew up, it became more clear and more clear and more clear. So as I grew up, I also wanted to realize, okay, I'm living, I'm already, in my opinion, and I don't want to get just all the way deep with that, but in my opinion, like, sometimes I do believe a lot of homosexuality is a possession. It's a devil possession. It's a spirit. It's a spirit that's in your body.
You believe that?
I believe it.
I've heard that a couple times.
I firmly believe that. Now that I have built such a close relationship to God, I firmly believe that.
So you think something was inside of you?
One thing that I was at church and a preacher actually said, he said that basically when, as children, certain things and certain spirits are put into a child early on, and they may or may not even realize it, but whoever it was that put that spirit, that casted that spirit to you or against you or whatever, is, that's where it comes from. It comes from somewhere. In other words, to say, maybe some years ago, somebody in my family was also homosexual. Maybe nobody knew it, whether somebody did know it. Maybe that spirit, since that spirit was kind of hanging around with him and he was around my mother, and my mother, had me around, obviously, then that spirit kind of bounced around, because the devil obviously works with the easiest people he can find. Not the easiest people, and not weak people, but the devil wants to work with any and everybody. So if there's an opportunity for him to get there, he's going to get there. So whether you're a baby or whether you are, a grown man or woman, it really doesn't matter. You can be taken possession of by any spirit, especially whether it's a good spirit, whether it's a bad spirit.
So Brendan, tell me this. If you had to pick one, you would say you are the way you are because you didn't have a strong male figure? Or you would say because you felt like it was something that was rooted in you?
That's a tough question because honestly, I would say it would be something more to the effect that because I didn't have a male figure, that would be more. Because to me now, that's what's more important to me. I don't focus as an adult. I don't focus on, dang, was this meant to be? This is how I was, put up on this earth to actually go through such a risky lifestyle and expose myself to so much different stuff that goes on in this lifestyle and the way people do and. Clean people, dirty people, sick people, well people, any of that. But at the end of the day, I think about, well, I honestly believe if my daddy would have been there a lot more like I would have wanted him to, maybe I would have had a different outlook on it. It would have been a little more manageable for me to be able to deal with at this point, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay, so in conclusion, if you want to give any message out there to any guys who may be on the fence, who may want to come out the closet and may want to just be respected and be accepted by their family members and the people outside of their family who are gay, what would you tell them? If you could look at them right now and tell them, what would you tell them?
I would tell them basically, you have to do you. You really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you want to please or who you feel as if you have to please, whether you in a situation, which is, it typically happens, a lot of gay males, families aren't accepting of them and their lifestyle, so they don't know how to express it. They don't know how to necessarily come out. Some deal with it in a more masculine extent to the point where they deal with it. They like guys, but you will never be able to tell. Others express it in a different way. They lash out. They want to be, they dress up like girls. They do girl things or they act like girls. So if I had to just say anything, if any gay male asked me for advice as far as to how to approach an older, more mature lifestyle as growing up, not accepting it, but just being who you really are and doing what's true to you, do that. Do what's true to you. Definitely do what's true to you. If you, at the end of the day, you know that all of your friends like girls or like guys, and you honestly really don't, you just got caught up with this crowd, peer pressure, then at the end of the day, you really need to think about that, pray about that. You should really want to just do you, be an individual. There's nothing wrong with being an individual. You can be whoever it is that you want to be as long as it's right. You feel as if this is right. This is the direction that you're doing. You've had good results from it, or you've had, fortunate luck with it. Not good luck, but I'm going to say fortunate, blessed luck to do with it. Then absolutely, just be true to yourself. At the end of the day, be comfortable in the skin that you're in, and just make sure that you can accept that. And if on Judgment Day, when you get there and it's, this is the lifestyle that you live, accept it. Yes, it is. It is the lifestyle that you live. That's what you chose, and it was true to you. You knew, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing to say, but you can honestly pray to God, I know I like males, I know I like females, or whatever it is, but this is what I know, this is what I have, this is what...
They were true to themselves.
You're true to yourself.
So the message is be true to yourself.
The message being be true to yourself, be comfortable in your skin, do you.
Okay, I want to go ahead and say this. I think you've been on the show, Brendan, telling everybody your story. But I want to go ahead and say this. This is from me personally. I can't admit that at one point I was homophobic. And I want to thank my sister for even enlightening me on some situations. People are gay, people are straight, but who are we to judge? If you are a homophobic person, you really will miss out on some of the best friends that you can ever have. Like Brendan. I didn't know Brendan until I first moved down here, but I realized that Brendan's a cool dude. He just happened to be gay. I never laughed so much since I met this cat. So my message is to you out there. If somebody's gay, don't judge them. It ain't cool. It's not what it do. And on a lighter note, part 3 is what grinds my gears. Coming up next.